Hi everybody, Rebecca Bain here. There was a great question asked in The Rock. Thank you so much, Allison, for posting that question in there because you're absolutely right. Most coaches have the same exact question about, well, pretty much everything. So sharing it in the group and giving me the opportunity to answer it for everyone is great. The question is pretty much how my day looks as far as the business goes, and specifically how much time I'm allotting to my groups, how many groups I have. Currently I have 3 groups. It fluctuates between 3 and 4 groups because of the 10-day challenge that I run once a month. And then I have a new fitness challenge group that starts every 30 days. Now that's going to dwindle down to 60 days, so I'll just have 2 challenge groups running at a time rather than 3. And there's various reasons for me doing that. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but it's going to work for me. I try to have a Hootsuite post that goes in first thing in the morning, so that's something I can spend 20 minutes a week scheduling posts for Hootsuite. That way I'm showing up first thing in the morning. I haven't been that great about it. If I don't get it in there, I don't stress about it. But I do go in later in the evening and post. And usually I'm in my groups for about an hour to an hour and a half. It just depends. It depends if there's a 10-day group. Now I'm running Coach Basics groups. So that's something I'm doing that not many of you are not doing yet. So that's not something that you're going to have to factor in. That plays a role on how much time I'm spending in my groups. I have my team page. Not all of you have team pages. So that's going to factor into your time. So where my hour and a half is now, you shouldn't have to spend that much time as a newer coach. You might spend 30-45 minutes. It just depends. Now, if you find that you're spending way too much time in your groups, that it's not fitting in with the amount of time you've set aside for this business, then you do need to reevaluate something. Maybe you have too many groups going. I know many of us are running multiple groups with other coaches. It might help, and you have to run a trial to find what's going to work best for you, but it might help if you pull all of your people together in one group and track it out a little bit. And that way you're just checking in to that one group. And then pull some of your really motivated challengers, or you might have a new challenger who is a coach. Help mold that new challenger into a coach by giving them a little bit of responsibility and taking that off of yourself. So that's with me with groups. Again, it's going to be very different for all of you. What I did as a brand new coach is very different from what I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is very different from what I did a year ago. On average, I would say I spend about 20 hours a week in my business. That is what I do now. And I didn't spend that much in the beginning. I got up an hour early before my kids got up. I did my 3 vital behaviors. Seriously, like 5, maybe 10 hours a week in the beginning. If I had the extra time. My kids were at a different age. It was just different all around. They could sleep in later. I had more time in the morning to do things. But as my team grew and I had more responsibility of helping my coaches, I took on more hours. How did I do that? Where did I find the extra time? Outsourcing. The very first thing I outsourced 2.5 years ago was my laundry. And I didn't have the money. We were in debt. It didn't seem practical to do it. But I knew I had enough understanding of the business, and I knew enough people who were successful in this business that if I just paid someone, I did the laundry, I paid someone $25, my babysitter, to come in and fold the laundry once a week and put it away for me. And that was, she was there doing that for 2 to 2.5 hours. And so that was 2 to 2.5 hours that I was not doing laundry, that I was able to focus on my business. It was a short-term loss. I probably had to pay a little bit less on our credit card, but it was a long-term gain. So you have to kind of take that into consideration. It may not be laundry for you. It may be something else. Anything that you can kind of take off your plate that'll buy you an hour or so, I highly recommend it. I know it's a struggle, and some of you are like, well, I'm having a hard time paying my electric bill this month, so I don't know how that's going to work. You might have to take a different angle for a couple of months, but that was how I found the time in the beginning. Let's see. make sure I'm covering all of your questions. We talked about the groups. My typical work day, honestly, some days, there are days that I actually don't do work at all. So though I say an average of 20 hours a week, I guarantee you last week I may have gotten 5 to 7 hours just because all my kids were sick. But because of what I have put into this business in the very beginning, and making the most of the time I did have in the very beginning, I got this momentum, and now my business just runs smoothly. And if my kids are sick, or we have to take an emergency travel to see family, or we want to go on vacation, I can let this sit. Nobody's going to die if I'm not, checking in on my groups, or I have coaches who can help me out. So that is the beauty of just pouring yourself into this as much as you possibly can in the beginning, so that when you do get established, last week I had 4 sick kids, and it's, stressful. I wanted to be doing things, but I just, I'd jump in my group, say, hey, my kids are sick, I can't check in today, I'll check in on with you tomorrow. So, yes, if you're finding that you're struggling, you're spending too much time in your groups, I do recommend cutting back and getting some help. Have people jump in, some of your coaches, some of your team jump in and help you with that. Use Hootsuite, and cut back on your groups if you need to. Again, going down to a 60-day challenge group may be a solution for you, just to have one less group over time. Alright, hopefully that helps. Post any questions below if you have more questions on anything I didn't cover. And I might write up something to go along with this video, just for those of you who don't like to watch and would rather read a document of how my day goes. Alright guys, thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.